Hi everybody, Marty Rubin, and I'm back for another segment of Marty's Corner. Let's see who has come in to Marty's Corner. We have Grace Ellis Solomon, who is playing the brave, funny, cool,
Yeah.
confident, Jane in the hit musical.
A Bronx Tale!
Yes. So you are wowing the audiences out here, I have to tell you.
Thank you.
Has it been a blast to play Jane?
Oh my goodness, it's been a blast. I've been literally eyeing this very specific production since last year when they had their
Right.
EPA announcement go out.
Right.
I remember texting my agent and being like,
You wanted this.
when the Bronx Tale sends their breakdowns, please put me in for Jane. And an entire year later, it just like all kind of fell into place. So I'm really, really happy. I'm stoked.
Well, we're very glad you're here. Absolutely. So the part of Jane, your love interest, Christian Musto, who
Yes.
plays Calogero. Did you know him before rehearsal started?
No, I've never even seen him in an audition room.
Wow.
Probably at the callback, but my brain didn't register.
Your chemistry is terrific between
Oh,
the two
glad
of
to
you.
hear it.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. How do you build that kind of chemistry?
I think a friendship is important. I mean, obviously, if you're going to interact with someone on stage a great deal, it's important to make sure that you've established some sort of like rapport with them behind the scenes as well. And I'm
Right.
very lucky. I always am very lucky in the fact that Christian's very, very funny and he's nice and he's sweet, and so it's easy to like.
Yes,
Stuff on stage.
it just worked.
Yeah.
Yes. So your character, Jane, is from Webster Avenue
Yes.
in the black neighborhood.
In the Bronx.
And in the Bronx, It's always the Bronx, not Bronx.
It's just
the
the Bronx.
The Bronx. And Calogero is from Belmont Avenue
Yes.
in the Italian section. So they may be geographically close, but it's
so
worlds,
different.
right? It's worlds apart, you know.
Yeah.
How are the two of you able to bridge the racial divide or racial tensions of that era to come together?
You mean character-wise?
The character-wise, yes.
I mean, I think that 1968 historically was a year of a lot of social change. And I think that, especially them being younger, being in high school, they
Right.
probably were a little bit more open to like what the future could be. So they
Right.
kind of went into things with a bit of more of an open mind than their parents or their grandparents would, you know?
Right. It's
Right.
sort of like a West Side Story vibe.
It is,
a little
and
bit,
that
you know?
it is such a West Side Story moment. I mean, obviously, it's very much the B plot in the show. A plot is definitely the whole mobster thing going on, but it's just so parallel to West Side Story.
Right.
Very much so.
What do you think the lessons are of A Bronx Tale?
I think the lessons are, I mean, obviously the choices you make have consequences.
Yes.
And at some point, there's going to be a turning page where you need to make the right choice for you and not be influenced by people around you.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Yes. You know, I always compare sports to theater.
Yeah.
And you know, when you look out and like it was brave for the two of you, to get together, in the show. And I think sports and theater being Grace Ellis and your character, there's a team feeling that that you get together with maybe people different races, different faiths.
Yeah.
But you're put together and you need to be a team. And in sports, it works. You have black players, white players, Spanish players,
Doesn't matter.
and they get along fantastic. And you see the love.
Yeah.
And you see that in the theater too.
You do.
Is that gratifying for you?
I think it very much is. I mean, obviously, I hear stories about like shows back in like the 60s and the 70s where like black performers were first starting to be trickled into like the choruses and like becoming chorus boys and chorus girls, things like that. I think it's really cool that now in 2024 I can like go in and audition for like anything and like be a
that's
part of a
nice.
cast
Right.
that's diverse and welcoming and great. So
Right.
Yeah.
That's so nice. So you are a superb actor.
Oh, thank you.
You are a tremendous dancer.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh my
God.
That's a big compliment.
So what's left? You're dancing, singing, and singing.
And singing.
You have a beautiful, soulful, smooth voice.
Thank you.
Essence, emphasis on the smooth. Okay. You know what that makes you?
What?
A triple threat.
Oh, that! Be careful
Come on,
saying that
Grace
to me.
Ellis. A
Oh, I'm
triple
gonna think
threat.
about that when I go to bed tonight.
A triple threat. What, out of those skills, what was the hardest for you to learn?
Gosh, honestly, probably the dancing. If I'm gonna be so honest with you, I mean, I would consider myself to be a mover that just puts her big toe over the line of dancer. there are certain
That
styles.
doesn't come across, I'll tell
and
you.
I'm glad,
You're-
and
you're-
I'm so glad.
you're
There are,
cooking
certain,
out here.
there are certain styles that I'm definitely more comfortable with. I definitely
Right.
have rhythm naturally, but I mean, I even growing up and doing dance classes as like a child, I was never naturally flexible.
Right.
I was never I never had like any sort of like natural innate like, oh, she's gonna be a dancer kind of thing. So
Yes.
it was something that definitely when I went into the professional sphere had to like work on
Right.
extra.
The other
to make
two
sure
came
that
more naturally.
a
for
little
you.
bit more naturally. Yeah.
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 So when you're up here doing your thing, and you really do it well, and you feel the energy, and you are connecting with the audience, and it's like you could taste it. I mean, I've been to a lot of the shows, and you could really feel it. What does that feel like for you as a performer?
I always say, like, you get a little bit of a performance high. There's always that, like, post-designer run high. There's that post-opening night high. And then just, like, when you really like the work you're doing, you get just this big serotonin boost when you just, like, feel connected. Obviously, I leave Grace Ellis in the wings.
Yes.
And when I come out, I'm Jane.
You put that Jane face on, right?
You put the Jane face on. But it's just, I don't know, that energy doesn't leave you when you exit the stage. Like, when
Right.
I feel gratified leaving a really good performance where I know everyone connected and we were all on and I felt really good, it just like it adds a little bit of warmth to your heart, you know. That sounds so Hallmark card, but it's true. It is true.
It's so nice. Where did you grow up?
So I grew up in Wilmington, Delaware.
Okay.
Like about a hop and a skip stone's throw away from Philadelphia. So all of my like artistic pursuits, my like theater camps and my dance school and all that stuff was in Philadelphia. But
When did you
my
start
house,
performing?
Wilmington. Oh my goodness. So I actually grew up as a classical pianist. I started
Wow.
playing the piano when I was 6 years old. My father was a pianist, a jazz pianist, and I started learning by ear. And then my parents saw that I had a little bit of a skill with it, so I started actually taking lessons. And then I did a theater camp when I was, I think, in
Ooh.
the 3rd grade, and I got bit by the theater bug. And then slowly I stopped playing as much and started acting more. And I still play for
Had your
just
father
the
take
joy
it
of it.
when you left the piano?
Listen, we're a musical family, so the support was still massive, and I still play. It's just my own personal little
Yes.
bout of therapy. But I mean, I definitely started when I was like 8 or 9.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking, and you were telling me your family's coming.
Yeah,
You know,
they are.
in
June
June.
2nd.
That's awesome. So, do you ever let yourself enjoy your family being here when you're on stage, or could you you can't get out of your zone?
Well, I definitely told them to pick a row in the very back because I don't want to know that. I mean, I'm gonna know that they're there, but I don't want to see them. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
I mean, my family they have a musical background. Like my mother used to sing. My grandfather was actually in a doo-wop group and an opera singer, and he played
that's
the
so
trumpet,
cool.
all the stuff. So he's
This
really
is in your blood.
yeah. He was really excited. He's really excited to come see this. But I mean,
So if he's there and you heard, that's my granddaughter.
I'm gonna he's so happy. But you know, I don't know. I know a lot of actors are probably the same way.
Right.
I like to give them a finished product. I never show them anything in
Right,
rehearsal
right,
or
right.
any sort of like dress rehearsal foot, nothing. They don't get to see any of it. And when they come, I'll know they're there in spirit. However, I will be looking up to the mezzanine and
they'll
not
be-
to the back orchestra
right.
because I know that's exactly where they're gonna be.
And they'll be waiting for you after the
And
show.
they can
so proud.
they
you
can
know?
be proud after. I don't want to see them.
That's awesome. You know, last week we had the opportunity to interview Christian Muster, who
Yeah.
plays Calogero, and he sang "Out of Your Head."
Yeah.
And you have such a good voice. I gotta ask you, what's one of your favorite songs? Out of something with world.
It's in a world like this. It's
In a
the,
world
it's
like
the
this?
duet in Act 2. It's so romantic, and the song is
Could you
such
give
a good
us
song.
a few?
Yes,
bars of hear
of
that
course I
beautiful
can.
voice?
I'll give you a
Okay.
nice little 8-bar.
Okay.
In a world like this, where everyone sticks with their own, I say we gotta give it a shot. Why should we care if they're ready or not? Shake their heads, 'cause what do they know? There ain't no way that I'm letting you go.
Whoa, are you
There's
kidding
a bit-
me?
a couple-
Oh my
a little bit
God.
higher
Oh my
than
God.
it is in the show.
Wow,
But-
that's tremendous. If you want to hear the rest of that song, you have to come down to see A Bronx Tale. Grace Ellis Solomon, fantastic.
Thank you.
What a superb cast. What a job that she puts on. Come on down to the Argyle Theater. We're playing straight through Wednesday through Sunday, straight through to June 16th. And you get to see Grace Ellis bringing it every night and twice on Saturday.
Twice on Saturday.
Twice on Saturday. So come
Twice
on
on
down,
Saturday.
and we can't wait to see you at the Argyle Theater.
Yes.
Bye-bye.